Hi guys, welcome back to my jaw surgery journey, and today we are going to go over some frequently asked questions. I have gotten a lot of really good questions as I've started putting out these videos and just talking to friends and family about my surgery, and I thought I would just address some of the questions that keep coming up today so that you all can get the answers. So in terms of recovery, from what I have heard, there's sort of three aspects to the recovery that will be key. One will be the swelling. One will be sort of the eating the food I can eat and the diet. And then the third will be numbness and just getting feeling back in my face. So in terms of the swelling, that's really gonna hit peak on like the third day after the surgery, and then it'll start to go down. But it can take a really long time for that swelling to totally go away. Like we're talking 6 to 12 months until it's completely gone. But after I think a month or two, most people wouldn't notice that I was still swollen, but I will probably still notice that there's certain areas that are still a little bit swollen. So the swelling can take a pretty long time to completely go away, but it won't be super noticeable after a month or two. In terms of my diet, I do have to be on a liquid diet for the first 7 to 10 days. And then it's pretty soft foods for a while. And then I think just kind of as you start to get more mobility back and start to feel better, you can start getting back to a more normal diet. But they are really encouraging me to try to get back to as normal eating as possible as soon as possible. I think just to get that mobility back and to kind of speed the healing and also help to kind of get the inflammation to keep going down. And then the third piece is the numbness. So right after the surgery, and I think definitely through that first week or two, my whole face is going to be pretty numb. And obviously I haven't been through it myself yet, so I don't know how it's going to be for me, but from what I've heard of other people that have gone through this, you kind of get different areas back at different times. So you'll start to get feeling back here and there. And then there might be small areas that continue to be numb a little bit longer or just take longer to recover. And occasionally people will have 1 or 2 small spots that do not ever fully get feeling back. But it sounds like if that does happen, it's usually such a small spot that it's not really a problem, or it's not something that people notice on a regular basis, but it is a possibility that there could be small areas of numbness that don't completely go away. No, I will not have to have my jaw wired shut. They will use rubber bands on the braces to hold everything in place and kind of keep my mouth more closed after the surgery, but it doesn't have to be totally wired shut. So I will be able to have some movement, like talk a little bit or kind of feed myself, I guess, but they just don't want you moving so much and they want to kind of hold it in a certain position. So there will be the rubber bands, but no wiring it shut all the way. Right after the surgery, I will have to be on an all liquid diet for about 7 to 10 days. And at first, I think you have to use like a syringe to kind of squirt the food into your mouth because everything is so numb and you can only open your mouth so far that it's really hard to eat normally. But they do encourage you to start using like a cup or a spoon as soon as possible and kind of trying to eat as normally as possible without really chewing yet. And then after the first 7 to 10 days, you can start to introduce just really soft foods that don't really require you to do too much chewing. And then it's just sort of gradually over time after that you can start to get back into a more normal diet. I've actually heard that one of the biggest complaints people have after the surgery is not so much the pain or the discomfort, but that they miss eating solid food. And so it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I love my smoothies, but we'll see how it feels after the first couple of weeks if I'm really dying to chew on something. I do think there are some occasions where people will have surgery first and get braces put on afterwards, but most people have to get braces put on before the surgery to basically put your teeth in position so that the surgeon knows how to move your jaw so that your teeth all line up where they need to be and where you want them to be. And if your teeth are kind of not in the right place going into the surgery, then they don't really know where you want them to end up. So it's really to help the surgeon decide how to actually move your jaw during the surgery. And I will keep the braces on for the surgery and afterwards as well. And I believe that after the surgery, I'll have braces on for a little while, and the orthodontist will just make any final small changes that need to happen. But most of the work was done ahead of time so that the surgeon knows exactly what to do. Another question I get asked quite a bit is, why am I going to Spain to have this surgery done? I think I definitely could have found a surgeon here in the United States or even here in Minnesota. But when I first talked to an orthodontist and heard about this surgery, she really highly recommended this particular surgeon in Spain. And when I had a consultation with him, I felt really comfortable with him. I really liked how he walked me through everything. And he explained that they use really minimally invasive techniques and their surgery times are a lot shorter. So I did talk to 2 other surgeons here in Minnesota that were recommended to me, and their surgery times were like 5 to 6 hours versus this clinic in Spain, their surgery times are 90 minutes to 2 hours. And when the surgery time is a lot shorter, that means your recovery process is faster as well. You just have less time under anesthesia, less blood loss, all those things that kind of make it harder to recover. So that, plus the fact that he has done like 5,000 of these surgeries, really made me feel like this is the place I want to go. And I just felt like I would be in the best of hands. So another question I have gotten is whether or not I will have to go back to Barcelona after my surgery to do any follow-up appointments. And no, I shouldn't have to go back. I guess assuming nothing crazy happens, but I will have a few follow-up appointments while I'm still there. I will be there for 2 weeks after my surgery. So I will have one follow-up the day afterwards, and then another one a week later. And then about a week after that will be the third and final appointment. And if everything is looking good there, then I will be good to go. I think the thing that I'm most nervous about is just being under anesthesia and really just going through surgery. I know there's always unexpected things that can come up, and that just makes me a little bit nervous. And I'm sure right beforehand I'll be freaking out a little bit. I'm a little bit worried about the first night, especially of recovery, which I've heard can be kind of rough, and you can throw up and just feel pretty crappy that first night. So I'm a little anxious to just kind of get through maybe those first couple of days and see how I'm feeling. But other than that, there's nothing that I'm really scared about at this point. I think I'm trying to be pretty optimistic and just have a positive mindset about it. But I guess we'll see if as I get closer, if anything starts to freak me out a little more. So those are some of the questions I've been getting. And if you have other questions that you're thinking of, leave me a comment below. I'd be happy to answer any other questions that you guys have, and give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe if you haven't already. I will keep you guys posted on what is coming up as we count down less than a month away at this point. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon.